Okay, everyone, this is Chaz Says Anything for Tuesday, September 12th, 2023. All right. Okay, so if you like what you see or hear, click the subscribe button on the bottom right corner. Um, this episode is episode 17. Murphy's Law hits the Giants and Jets is at MetLife Stadium. So I will get to that. I do have a lot to say. Might have a guest if he pops in, maybe two. One who you've seen before, one who you've not. So I'll go straight to this. So obviously yesterday was 9/11, 22 years ago. We got attacked in New York City, in Washington D.C., and a plane that went down was headed for Washington D.C. that went down in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. What I remember as a personal thought from that day, I was in another relationship. Excuse me. This is obviously 22 years ago, so this is multiple relationships ago. Even before I got married the first time, and I was coming out of work at UPS, and a lot of people who I'm still friends with still work at that UPS. Some of them more than others in Tinton Falls, New Jersey. And I got in my car, and it was probably about 8:30 or 8:40 that I got out of work, and I turned on the radio. And back then, 92.3 was with Howard Stern and the Howard Stern Show, and I put him on. No more before I pull out of the parking lot. I think it turned to about 8:48 when the first plane went through the South Tower, and he instantly, I remember him saying this like it was yesterday, that it was terrorists. And even though it was obviously way too early to say that, he was right. And then it was no more than 5 minutes later, the second plane went through the North Tower. And I was racing home to get to my then girlfriend, Rebecca, and we didn't have a TV. So push comes to shove, we had to leave to go find a TV. And the TV we knew was her mother in Long Branch. And long story short, we got lucky. Nobody we knew, and nobody, I knew in my family, we lost that day. Now, go 20 years, I now know more than a few people that lost a brother, a sister, a father, or a very close friend. And I grew up in Monmouth County. I grew up in Monmouth County most of my life. There was over 100, if I'm correct, and people who watch this can tell me what the exact number is. There was a lot of people from Monmouth County who we lost that day. And, I still think about this every day. At some point in my day, it's what happened that day, obviously not transformed all our lives, not just, one person in particular. And honestly, and I will say this, it is our duty as people who live through this to educate the young ones. Oh, I got someone coming in. Let's put this on too. Hey, Cameron.
What's going on, sir?
Not much. I'm just talking about my story about 9/11. So, yeah. All right. Just we'll go to the football soon. If you have a story too, I'll let you talk about that too. Okay. Real quick finish up. So as I was saying, it's real important, and maybe Cameron will back me up on this as well, that we educate our children who weren't part of this era, don't know what happened, weren't physically there. It's imperative that they know what we went through, what everybody went through in that time. And I'll leave it at that. Cameron, if you got a story, I mean, if I'm correct, you were working at UPS in 2001.
2002, I believe.
Oh, so you weren't there at that point. Okay. So, like,
no, I was.
what's your story? What happened that day for you?
Well, first of all, is my air conditioning too loud, or
No, I can hear you perfectly.
okay, all right, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as 9/11 is concerned, it was actually funny because my my patient, because I'm a nurse, and
Uh-huh.
my patient was he goes to JFK High School, and they were just going over that yesterday, as like how it feel, where they were, like everybody could really, and most of them weren't born. So
Really?
um, when I was just talking to the teacher, I was like, I know exactly where I was. I was first year at Brookdale Community College. I was in an English class,
Uh-huh.
and all of a sudden, we were working on some kind of paper in a lab on computers, and teacher comes in, stops us, and says, um, "Guys, we're going to end the class for today as of right now. I want you
Wow.
guys to go home and, you know, um, and take your things, and we'll discuss this either tomorrow or the next day or something like that." And
Uh-huh.
we leave, but while we're leaving, we see these people kind of like, they're not running, but they're kind of like skipping maybe a little bit, and they're moving over, and we're like, kind of like where they're going. Now it was just me, but like I could hear people mumbling behind me, like, why are they running? What's going on? And in the
Wow.
hallway, right before you get to the elevators and the stairs, there's like a TV that's there. And
Uh-huh.
like I'd say
Sounds like
about,
you were in building 1 or 2. I remember Brookdale pretty well. So I did 2 years there.
where was that again?
I said that sounds like building 1 or 2. I did with the
Oh,
TV.
building 1 or 2.
What was that?
Did you say building 1 or 2?
Yeah, building 1 or 2. I know that's where
Oh,
the
okay.
yeah, I know Brookdale pretty well, so I think that's where the TVs were, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
and it
Oh,
was
there might have been
there
in
were only
building
like
5
I
as
think
well.
7 or 10 people there. So
Yeah.
like they were all crowding the TV, and we had seen that
Wow.
one of the towers was hit,
Yep.
um and as we were standing there, that's when the second one hit. And then
Yep.
we were just like, oh my God, what's going on? And then
Mhm.
everybody was trying to call people's phone. People couldn't get through. Because of the signals were all jammed, and
Oh, that's right.
everybody.
We did have cell phones back then, didn't we?
Yeah, it was just in the
I
beginning.
forgot about that. I
It
forgot
was like
about
the
that. I
Nokias
assumed we
or
didn't.
whatever. Like, yeah, it's like the Nokias
Wow.
and things like that. Everybody's like, yo, I can't get through. Nothing can get, but
Yeah.
after a couple minutes, certain people could get through. It was just one of those things that I was driving home, and then
Yeah.
when I got there, I was just like, what's going on? Like we were both like kind of like sitting with each other, like what's going on, and
Wow.
I'll
Yes.
never get that. I think my stepfather, he was still teaching at Marlboro High School at the time, so he was coming back home too, and like we were all like, what's going on? And then of course,
Gotcha.
like 2-3 hours later, the um the building collapses, and like
Mm.
they're actually showing like footage of
Yep.
people running away and a
Yep.
cloud of smoke just coming
I
right.
remember that very well.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's
Those are,
my
that's
big
your
thing
story?
that day.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I
Got
remember.
it. Yeah, like I said, again, like I have twin boys that are 9 that obviously they were born 2014, 14. They don't know anything about this other than what any stories I've told them. And, they're not ready for what actually happened. I'm not ready to show videos of that yet. But, once they're old enough, then I obviously want to teach them something about it that they know at least what happened. And I did want to even bring this up. I'm not sure you saw this. I'm not sure if anybody else saw this. Look, that this was over New York City yesterday. I mean, talk about, wild. You know, that was,
Someone said they saw it was like a double rainbow. Yeah, that was going on.
yeah, that was really cool. I figured I put this up on the podcast. Now that is a really cool sight. Okay. So, lost you there for a second. I could probably hear you, but I can't see you. All right. Let's see. Go back to that. Okay. So we might have lost camera for a minute. I'll go to my pick six.
Yeah,
And
that's the
my
moment.
pick six check. You
Don't
got
worry.
me? Yeah,
Yeah,
I got
here.
your audio. I just didn't have your
Yeah, as a nurse, sometimes you're 24 hours.
video. All right. So I'm going to do my pick six that I did yesterday. Not sorry, not yesterday. Last week. Um, as everybody can see, we got two people on right now watching. That's awesome. Which is, I guess, it helps when you have somebody else talk to, Cameron. This is I'm usually by myself. Nobody wants to listen to me. That's fine.
Don't you worry, yo. I'll be back in a moment. Don't worry.
That's cool. That's cool. So last week, if anybody saw my picks that I did on Saturday, I picked Cincinnati over Cleveland. Obviously, that was a bust. I picked San Francisco over Pittsburgh. He actually beat them a lot more than I expected. I thought Chicago would eke by Green Bay. Man, I guess Green Bay does own Chicago because they beat them 38-20. I did get Philly right over New England. Now that I want to talk about that Philly game more, but that Philly game was a lot tighter than anything. And then, of course, the last two games. And we'll get to this first game first. The Sunday Night Massacre. So let me get over here. Okay. Let's preface this, okay? And this is why I'm actually copying somebody from like either The Athletic or NFL.com was saying Murphy's Law hits the Giants because everything was just so right, and then it went to you know what. So this is what they said in this article. So coming off a surprise run to the playoffs in 2022, earning Dable the AP Coach of the Year award, it saw his second season with the Giants start abysmally. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. New York's first offensive series against the Dallas Cowboys looked promising until the field goal attempt was blocked and returned for a touchdown. Now that obviously was weather, because from what I saw, the ball was hiked perfectly and it was set perfectly. So it had to be the foot moving the wrong way when he kicked it, right? I mean, I don't know if you saw Cameron or not, but that's what it seemed to me. That
If you're
he
talking
just
about the Giants game, no, I didn't get a chance to see
okay.
that.
So I'll talk more about this. And if you have
texted me about, I mean, you know what? No, I'm thinking of something else. I was watching a little bit of the game just because I have so many friends who are Giants fans. But yeah, that the brutalness of it, I kind of like just was not completely watching it. But man, every time I kept coming back, I was like, oh my Lord. And then of course, what happened yesterday, the whole weekend has now, between me and my friends, has been called the curse of MetLife Stadium.
Yeah, so we'll get to the Jets. We'll get to they'll be next. But so it goes on. Obviously, with New York had no answer for Dallas pass rush. I mean, and that's what I really want to press right now. And I hope at some point the Giants do this, because obviously they're not watching this, but they need a whole new offensive line, or they have to stick dynamite up there. You know what's, because I'm sorry, you have 2 first-round tackles that couldn't block a barn from coming after them. I mean, it was ridiculous. They were getting by him left and right. I said this at my job. I said, we couldn't beat Rutgers that day. That's how bad we played. We couldn't beat Rutgers. And Rutgers is obviously doing pretty good. Now, granted, they're playing weak teams, but the way we played, it looked like we couldn't beat them either. So, I mean, it's that offensive line that's killer. Like Graham Gano, the missed extra point, the missed field goal that he missed the second time, he'll bounce back. The team, I feel, will bounce back. But, I mean, this is the issue that should have been brought up that day. I don't know if it was. I forget who was calling the Sunday night game on NBC. Al Michaels or something. Chris Collinsworth. Oh no, not Al Michaels. Damn, I'm aging myself. It's Tirico, Mike Tirico. But yeah, so they spent a ton of money for this squad to lose by 40 in the rain against their biggest rival. That cannot happen. Like, if that game was 40-38, there would be no vitriol right now. There would be no issues with, okay, we just missed a play here, we missed a play there. But the fact that you just couldn't play in the rain. Did they have the wrong cleats? In my opinion, I mean, something happened that they just couldn't play on that field. And maybe and this is why I added MetLife Stadium. Is it MetLife Stadium? Could it be the field? I mean, and I hate to do that and say it's the field, but we'll talk about this in the next segment. But the field could be more of the issue than anything else. Now Dallas scored 40, but remember, they scored 16 on 2 giant errors, and the 24 points wasn't much. I mean, I've talked to a few Dallas fans, the ones that aren't crazy anyway, and they've said that they're a little concerned with their offense and how they played. And and remember, they got the Jets, and we'll talk about that a little bit. So, that they're a little concerned. So just to wrap this up, because we got a comment already. Let's see who we got a comment from. Colin. Let's see what Colin says. So me, Mary, and Daniel Jones are watching. Yeah, if Daniel Jones was watching, that would be great. Because I'll say this to Daniel Jones. I don't think he did a horrible job, but he didn't do a good job. And he should have run more. Like, he ran two runs when he ran out of the pocket, and that was swell. But guess what? You need to run more when you're being chased. You don't stand in the pocket. I was yelling this on Saturday with the college kids. You don't stand in the pocket when you're being chased. You run. And the one person, or there's a few people in the NFL can't do that. It was not the field, the Dallas Doomsday defense. Colin, the field was bad. Your defense is very good. Number 1, number 2. It's up there, and I'm putting the Jets up there too. So it's 1A, 1B. Obviously, you're going to say, Colin, 1A, and that's fine. I might put the Jets 1A because of what they did, and we'll get to that. But I just, let's get back to the banner. So I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful that we can rectify ourselves next Sunday in Arizona against what's supposed to be the worst team, but they played pretty well against Washington. So they gave a lot of people a big scare on Sunday with almost beating Washington, in Washington, no less. So, and now, Cameron, I know you're an Eatontown guy. Are you still living in Eatontown? You there, Cam?
No, my friend. I live in Bound Brook now.
Oh, you're in Bound Brook. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, I thought I saw you. I thought I saw that on your page. But yeah, a buddy of mine who I grew up with in Eatontown. So he says this is coming from J.A. Salerno. This is his Facebook name, J. Salerno. But I knew him as John Weddle when we were kids in Eatontown. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe John might be watching right now. So this is what he said to me on Facebook. I told him I was going to put this on, and it's going to be for everybody to see. So he says, you give Jones time, he'll make plays, but when you're being chased down every play, I'm just throw the ball up. Hopefully we'll catch the ball. Not the way to play, but thankfully it's only game 1. Okay. Then he says, the Giants will figure it out by week 2 or 3 at the latest. I hope he's right. But here's the thing. Week 2, we can figure it out. Week 3, we're going to San Francisco. That's a loss in my book. San Francisco's strong. I mean, and I don't pick against my team, but that might be the first time in 2 years I do that. So then he says, last thing he says, it will, trust me, because I said you better be right from your mouth to God's ears. He says Dable's too good of a coach, and the players will rally behind him and still make the playoffs. Remember, I said this. See, I thought Dable was a good coach until Sunday night. Dable looked like a deer in headlights. Like he didn't know which way to go. And being that this was the worst loss in Week 1 history, and also in turn being Dallas's biggest shutout in franchise history. I mean, it was just flat out the worst thing we could have seen. I don't know about any other Giants fans who will watch this or are watching. I turned it off at 33-0. Actually, I didn't turn it off. I gave it to my lovely fiance. I said, TV's yours. I'm done. So I said, Beth, you can have it. Colin will appreciate this. If Cowboys ever do this and gives it to Mary, I was so done with the TV. I'm glad I went to bed. I got 2 more comments. Let's see. The Niners definitely number 1. Yep, completely agree with that. MetLife massacre. Yeah, that's right, Cameron. Mauricio just got his first HR and it was epic. Mauricio. Mauricio on the Mets. Okay, yeah. Colin must be watching the Mets game right now. Okay, yeah. That's awesome, Mauricio.
It's almost as bad as when Deshaun Jackson brought back the punt return for a touchdown.
Oh, wow. What's that? I'm sorry?
I said, I think that was almost as bad as when Deshaun Jackson brought back the punt return for a touchdown after you guys took the lead in like an overtime. And what's your coach? Oh man, what's the coach's name? He's just, you could see him throwing he's throwing like the playbook or whatever, like on the floor as Deshaun Jackson is like running all the way to the touchdown. Like, I'm just trying to think what game that was, but that was the Eagles and Giants, and you guys.
Okay. Now I know where you're going. Deshaun Jackson, yeah, that I remember that very well, and yeah, that hurt. It was a punt return for it was like a 57, 67 yard return. Yeah, I remember that very well. It kills me to think of that even to this day. So, but
for you guys that day. But then again, I was an Eagles fan, so I was like, oh, I felt so bad.
Yeah. All right, so now let's talk about Cameron and your Jets. Right, you're the Jet fan, right?
Yeah, I'm a Jet.
Yep, that's why I wanted you on. I know it more than a few Jet fans, and Colin's wife is a Jet fan. Hopefully, she's watching with Colin, and I'm sure that she'll appreciate any commentary you might have. So, what's your take right now of the issue that you lost your quarterback for the year? I kind of want to hear from a Jet fan.
So basically, when it happened, it felt as if like just, oh God, I don't even know how to say it. Here we go again. You can't be serious. Is this really happening? The world has stopped. Everything is over.
Now, were you feeling like he died?
Yep. Pretty much.
Huh? Pretty much?
Pretty much. Yep.
Because I will say,
I died. Forget him.
You feel like you. Wow. See, I love Colin. Maybe you can ask Mary how she felt. I'm curious because that stadium was.
Oh yeah, the whole stadium.
That stadium died.
Yeah.
I mean,
everybody died. And
I thought it was so somber. It wasn't until obviously
like football. People right behind the Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman. They're like, oh. Yeah, it's just bro.
See, I was watching the Manning cast. I can't really stand
them too. Oh, them too.
Oh yeah, Peyton. I thought Peyton was going to cry. I really did. Yeah, I thought Peyton was going to cry.
Everyone, yeah, we all.
But, see, now Eli. Funny thing, there's my boy. And so Eli didn't really react differently, than he normally would. He was pretty stone-faced most of the night, so he might have been high for all I know. But Peyton definitely he felt the pain of that Achilles tendon, although we didn't know what it was Achilles tendon until later that night, until today. But it's just for me, and I know somebody called me out last night because I said, "Oh, they'll just wrap his foot and he'll come back," and I was obviously wrong. I thought because I'll tell you why I thought that. I thought that because he walked on it. When you have a torn Achilles tendon, you shouldn't be walking on it. And he did. I mean, he sat, he walked around, he moved around. He walked over. Now, granted, it was light, but he walked over. So I just unless the tear is really not as bad as we think, like it's probably a torn ACL, like or Achilles, like everybody's saying, but maybe he's stronger. Maybe he can get back quicker. And you can answer me this. Here's this question: do you think he's coming back for a second year?
Yeah, if you're talking to me, Charles, I
Yeah,
believe he is because of the fact that he mentioned it like 3 times on 3 different like networks that
yeah, exactly. I agree with that. I
yeah,
agree with that.
he said it to ESPN. He said it to Pat McAfee. He said it to another station where he was saying how the Jets had given a lot for me, and for me to just play 1 year, I feel would be a disservice. And he's
Mhm.
like, now if it's a magical year, who knows? And but I felt like I shouldn't just play for 1 year. So I feel like he's going to be back. A whole lot
Yeah.
of analysts and everything feel he's going to be back.
Hmm.
And some people feel he's going to be back just because he doesn't want to go out that way. So
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, I agree. I completely agree. I really think he's coming back. And there's even reports that he wants to play to 45 like Tom Brady did. You know what? If he's got the body to do it, why can't he do it? So we'll see. Now that leads me into this question, and we were talking about this near at work too. And this is like I had to write a list now. So, do the Jets find a replacement quarterback or stick with Zach Wilson? If so, who? So, do you think they'll find a replacement or stick with Zach?
I think well, again, uh, we have Robert Saleh on mic saying they will look for a third. They'll look for another QB. Now, I mean, when I heard Sal Palantonio throwing the names out there, I was like, oh no, I'm not. I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, he was throwing out
So I have
Wentz and
I
there's
have a
other
list of I have a list of 13 people that retired. Now we can
honestly, I'm not. I'm gonna tell you right now. If Matt Ryan came in and was able to learn the offense quick enough, I might be okay
damn
with that. Only because, like
he retired, didn't he? Or
he yeah, but because he wasn't doing well at Indianapolis. But
I forgot about him.
yeah,
Holy
Indianapolis's defense isn't like the Jets' defense. So
okay, you know what? He's number 14.
yeah, so, listen,
I I
go
completely
down the
forgot
list
about
for me. I feel like any of them will be better. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not really a Zach Wilson deter. I
yeah.
think he could be good, and I felt like he would have had just as good as like Jordan Love or any of those other people who are behind Rodgers and able to like learn from him and see how he does things and stuff. Because there were a couple times he was throwing certain passes. I was like, now see, that's something he learned from Rodgers when he was on Hard Knocks. So I
Yeah.
was like, if he had more time, I think great. But to throw him back in, I mean, so I don't know.
Well, I got two comments. Start today said something that just backed you up, but let's go to what Colin just said. Mary stoically said, "We have faith in Zach and guaranteed victory against Josh, the folding table." Josh, the folding table Allen. That's classic. I'm gonna have to remember that one. Or maybe she buried her head in her hands and tries not to cry. Oh, Mary's a strong one. She's one of the all the porcelana women most are strong. So I could see Mary being strong. Keeping her head up and trying not to cry. Now start today. Agreed with you, Matt Ryan. He thinks he goes. I think he's invested with support and mentor for the Falcons, but that doesn't mean he can't be brought over to the Jets. Now I do have, like I said, a list. You tell me Where's my? There we go. You tell me who you might want or who you think I'm crazy. Okay. So here's number one, Colin Kaepernick.
Facts. Man, oi, 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 oi. That man should have been in years ago.
Oh, I agree. I don't disagree.
That's already one. Oh,
I don't disagree. Man. And I'll say this. I heard
the offense. Absolutely. Come on in, bro.
Yeah. I read on Facebook, and it was just one source. So I don't want to say that, okay, I heard it here and then I heard it here. I do know a little bit about media. I did take media courses when I was in college, way back before the internet.
Jesus.
So, but apparently his agents made a phone call or two to the Jets. So we'll see. We'll see if that pans out.
That would be like probably that. Aaron Rodgers was the story.
Yep.
You want another story? Jeez. Oh.
Get Colin for a year.
Oh
exactly.
My God, bro.
Okay.
Everything will shut down.
Here's number two, and I think he's been retired for 3 years now. Cam Newton.
That was another one that they mentioned too. Sal mentioned that one too. So
did he roll? Wow.
I don't know. I don't know because he's been out for so long. So
See, so we got two check
really
marks on those two.
Accurate passer, like completely accurate. He had some accuracy issues, but again, that's another one. Like the reason I put Matt Ryan in there is because Matt Ryan is a little more accurate than some of the other ones. But But that Kaepernick one, I like that a lot.
All right, so we like three so far. We like Matt Ryan, we like Kaepernick, we like Newton. Now this.
Wait, who's the last one you said?
Huh?
Who's the last one you said?
Well, Kaepernick, Newton, and Ryan. So those are the three you said yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, next, Tom Brady.
Of course, man. Listen, if man wants to come over there, on top of that, the reason I'll sign up for that is because when they play New England, on New England, I'd love every minute of that. But
I love your enthusiasm as a Jets fan.
He already said he wouldn't do that because he just had his whole big ceremony thing yesterday.
That's the thing. Can you imagine the story?
Oh my God!
He's in New England getting his whatever, and then he goes to the Jets, the quarterback. I mean, it's probably not going to happen. Okay,
go get him, boy.
But, like, I said this last night, and Beth gave me the weirdest derivative look you could imagine. Like, she's like, "You're absolutely insane," and I'm being nice here. Let's see.
Yo, Colin, do you see what Colin?
Okay. So we got a comment from Colin's wife, the Jet fan. Mary says, if the Jets sign Tom Brady, she will burn MetLife Stadium to the ground, leaving only the giant Woody Diamond necklace in the embers. Oh.
I mean, she's not wrong because listen, I don't know if I can handle that, but then again,
that was good. That was good
on television and stuff like that, like. Morning radio with DiPietro and Rothenberg, that it was like if Tom came in, right, and like what would you do? What would you sacrifice for a Super Bowl? So they were just throwing things out there what you would sacrifice, and one of them was like, I might sacrifice that.
See, like I said,
how far would you go?
It's just a crazy idea. I don't think it'll ever happen. Let's start today. Say Matt Ryan is extremely healthy and capable. I know his phone is ringing. Yeah, probably. I don't disagree with that. So that's
phone's ringing off the hook.
And then we got one more from Colin. Cam Newton sucks. He's a worse passer than Zach Wilson.
There you go.
That's a name. He's probably 55. Here we go. May as well bring back Donovan McNair. Oh, jeez. I thought you were going to say Donovan McNabb, Colin, because McNabb would have been probably the guy to bring back.
Me too.
This is a good question. I'm getting a lot of positive and negative. This is good. I like it. Okay, I got a ton more. I don't want to. The one I thought about, and he's a local guy. Okay, and I looked him up. Alex Tanney. You ever heard of him?
No, never heard.
He was an undrafted quarterback that came. He was an undrafted quarterback that came out of Monmouth University.
Oh, wow.
And he retired a few years back. He's now a coach on Philly, but that doesn't mean that they couldn't take him.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, he's young enough too. I
Yeah.
mean, tell he's probably like Mike White, but like a little bit better.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I mean, now the one I heard today that and I think every Jet fan would say, "Oh hell no,"
That's
is
Michael
Carson.
Vick.
No, 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 no.
No,
He's not on my list. He's not on my list. No, he should be on my list. I should have thought of that.
absolutely.
No, Carson Wentz,
Yeah,
and I don't think he's
I've
retired.
seen
He's
that
just
project way too many times. I don't want that
yeah.
here.
Yeah, injury. He's done now. I mean, the rest of them, they're all these guys are retired, and I don't know if they'd come back. I'll just rate them off randomly. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees, Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler still probably has an arm. Josh McNown, he needs to feed his kids. Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck is 34. Now, he retired because I think he was injured. But I wonder if 3 years later, is he not injured anymore? So. And the other two are Robert Griffin III and Ben Roethlisberger. And Roethlisberger I find interesting for the simple fact that he could win the championship with this team. And that would be more solidifying than anything. I think Ben could, even though standing still, as long as that he's got the arm to pass. He's probably got a better arm than Aaron Rodgers. And Pittsburgh fans would be able to tell me that. Another comment. Let's see. I'm getting a lot of comments today. Or Michael Vick. Oh wait, no. And then Colin, better to be a Philly coach than a quarterback behind the Jets. Oh well.
That's why I was going to say.
Get more money, Colin.
I love Andrew Luck, but I don't want him to get hurt behind our line.
He won't get hurt as a Philly coach. You're right, but I honestly, just to get that chance one more time to play, I think he'd do it. I
would take Andrew Luck if it just meant we could keep him healthy.
Yeah, if Andrew Luck was healthy, absolutely, I completely agree.
I would take him in a heartbeat. Honestly, like if they said Andrew Luck, the hope in my that would reunite again. It would reignite if it was Andrew Luck. But then again, I would the whole time he's there, they're going to be saying the offensive line, the offensive line, the offensive line. Yep. And on top of that, if you even saw the play when what's his name got hurt, freaking Makai Bector, what are you doing? Oh, you come back and then you can't even block the guy. Oh, I was so mad. That's
now
why
you know what it's like to be a Giant fan.
Job.
What? I mean, not blocking. That's what we did all Sunday night. Anyway,
I'm just like, you know you don't have a contract or anything coming up, so you have to be there, and you're the one that that dropped the ball. Yeah, I'm done. I was like, that's it. I'm finished.
So I got to go a little softer here because we did have something come down the pike today, and it was talked about last week, but it was fake. Former NFL receiver Mike Williams dies at age 36. It was stated today on ESPN that his agent said that Williams died Tuesday morning at St. Joseph's Hospital in Tampa. He was hospitalized in ICU after an accident at a construction site in Hillsborough County, which includes Tampa, that left him partially paralyzed. So the Tampa Bay Times citing Turney Lyle, the mother of Williams' 8-year-old daughter, reported he was taken off a ventilator on Thursday. Wow. So, I mean, he was a fourth-round draft pick out of Tampa, catching 65 passes, offensive rookie of the year for that year. Second in voting. Buccaneers put out a statement. We are saddened to hear that the untimely death of Mike Williams, which has left our organization, his former teammates and fans with heavy hearts. We send our deepest sympathies to his family and loved ones as they mourn his tragedy. And he did finish his career with the Bills and the Chiefs. I mean, so he was a 4-year player. I was a friend of mine on Facebook was going a little nuts that nobody was talking about this and everybody was talking about the Jets. So I told him, I said flat out, I said, the media does what the media wants to do. They put out what they want to put out. I said, as a podcaster, I can do that for you, so you understand that that's what we're doing. And I probably would have seen it anyway. But this is an important story that a man in his prime, 10 years younger than me, passed away because of an accident. And figure I put it out there. I don't know if you got any comment on it. I mean, it's a pretty sad event, but it had to be reported. So
Yeah, I saw it when I was coming back. Yeah, I remember Mike. He's a very good receiver. Yeah, I was sad that I saw. I was like, well, 36. I was like, geez. I was like, man, barely lived his life. So, but yeah, I did. I saw
no,
that today at one point when I was at work.
yeah. So all right. Like I said, I feel bad for Mike Williams and his family. Condolences to his family, and hopefully his family gets all the support that they can. All right, and getting back to a little bit of football, uh, let's do a little recap. So obviously Kansas City. I said this. Really, now I'm out. Hold on, I got something going on. There we go. I'm back. So Kansas City, that was a flat out oh my god moment for me. Baltimore proved me right. Like he showed he can. Lamar Jackson can do what he got to do. The game that shocked me. There's two of them. Two games that shocked me. Cleveland beating Cincinnati the way they did. I mean, 24-3. Burrow had no. I mean, he had 30-something yards receiving. That was a shock. That was probably a bigger shock than the Giants, but I've seen the Giants lose bad games. This is just another one. It's just the worst one. It's funny how again. Hello. There we go. So all the quarterbacks who got new contracts lost. Every single one of them. So that means Dak didn't get a new contract. That's why Dak won. Your guy, Zach Wilson, didn't get a new contract. That's why he won.
Then don't give this man a contract for the whole season. Then if that's the case, just put him on. Yo, I kid you not. I kid you not. Yo, don't sign him and then franchise him if that's the case. Like his entire career, if that's the case, just franchise him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's not a bad idea. I mean, let's see, man, the Minnesota game, not Minnesota. I'm sorry. Minnesota losing to Tampa Bay. I mean, Minnesota's home, and what is his name? The guy who was in Cleveland, who was living there in the commercials, Baker Mayfield, goes to Tampa and wins. I mean, it's flabbergasting. I remember doing my draft last Tuesday. Nobody picked him up. No, Baker Mayfield is not the guy you expected to win. So they won. Go figure. Green Bay. Guess what? Green Bay owns Chicago. It's not just Aaron Rodgers. Everybody in Green Bay owns everybody in Chicago. Apparently, they won't go to Chicago and just take them out by 18. I mean, that's just sick. The best game of the day, from what a lot of people told me, Miami winning in LA against the Chargers. Now, David Chatterton isn't liking that. I tell you right now, that's my buddy from work. He's a Charger fan. He's not liking that they won. But my buddy Tim Kelly, who also is a Miami fan, begrudgingly loves that he won, because there's always something wrong with Tim. Although he did draft Aaron Rodgers. He did draft. Oh, who else got hurt? J.K. Dobbins. So yeah, this Tim guy, he's having a bad week because a lot of his guys getting hurt in the first week. So, but Miami won. I mean, they just ran back and forth against LA. I mean, that was a pretty good game. Now the Rams are a funny one. They beat Seattle in Seattle, but are they that good? I don't know. I have this big question that the Rams they're a facade of themselves, and that Seattle's supposed to be better. We know how they were last year. We know how Geno Smith was last year. We got another comment. Let's see. What are my comments? Are not coming up. There we go. No. Now I just went shrunk myself. There we go. Oh, you're not completely sold on Burrow either? Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, Burrow, his issues should be more. I need more running back help, because that's what he needs, a couple of tandem running backs to get his wide receivers the ball. Anyway, and the last one I want to talk about, Philadelphia, the Eagles. Barely, and I mean barely. 5 points isn't barely, but it's barely. They were winning that game 16-0. And it's kind of similar to Dallas beating us, but they did it first in New England. And they did it with the same or similar, where it was a block, an interception, this and that, pick six, fumble. The weather definitely took its toll this weekend. There's no doubt. The weather on the East Coast took its toll on football. And in Philadelphia, they were up 16-0, and the offense died from the middle of the first quarter to the second quarter. The whole second quarter, it died. And what happened? 2 touchdowns later, it's 16-14. And I'm watching. If the Philadelphia game is on, and Cameron, I'm not sure you know this, I'm engaged to a Philadelphia Eagle fan. So I have to watch Eagle games if they're on.
Outstanding. Tell her
it's as simple as that. Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of household is that, to tell you the truth? Jesus. I mean,
it's going to get crazy week 16. I'm going to tell you right now. It will be crazy.
It'll get crazy too when I come up there to watch. When the Jets become, it's going to be gang green all day, baby.
Oh, Jets Giants. The way we're playing, I think
Jets play the Eagles this year.
What's that?
The Jets play the Eagles this year.
Yeah, I think I have you beaten them. But of course, that was with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
I had you beating them with Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback.
So fast.
So that's pretty much the wrap up for week 1. I do have one thing that I want to talk about. I put it on my page on Facebook. Kadarius Toney for Darren Waller and Trey Hawkins. Was that a good trade? I think it was. I think even though Kadarius Toney went to Kansas City and won a championship, he's too much of a troublemaker. He's Odell Beckham Jr. without actually having the talent of Odell Beckham Jr. And we got a decent, now granted he's also hurt, Darren Waller, and Trey Hawkins could be something good in the next couple of years. He could be solid on a defense for the next couple of years. So I think we got the better, because we don't have to deal with a guy who gets one reception for 1 yard and basically drops something for a pick six, that destroys your first win.
It was a good trade.
Huh?
It was a good trade.
Yeah, I think so.
Darren Waller's worth the squeeze. It's just he's got to stay healthy.
Yep. All right. So we got power rankings. The power rankings came out. Who do you think's number 1?
Oh boy, probably the Eagles, since they won, because it would have been Kansas City if they won, but they lost.
They're number 2.
Yep.
They dropped it from 1.
Yep. Yeah, I know. They would have been number 1. And guess what? Did you notice that as soon as they lost, who gets signed? Yeah. How about that? Maybe you should have thought about that before game 1. We lose, and who gets signed? Yeah. How about that?
Yeah. Well, San Francisco's number 1.
Are they really? Oh, good for them.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, good for them. No, good for them.
They did dominate the Steelers. They did dominate the Steelers.
They really did. That was horrible.
So Eagles are number 3. the Cowboys are number 4.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Makes me sad, but Colin, you deserve it for how you kicked our whats left and right.
Yeah.
Number 5, they jumped 3 spots. Number 5, the Miami Dolphins.
Wow, my boy Tua, man, he's in my fantasy league. So,
And the biggest jump was Detroit to number 6.
they're
That
for real.
They are for real. There's no doubt they're for real. Now we'll see what happens in the next 2 to 3 weeks, but they're for real right now. There's no doubt. See, the real team I expected is number 7, Jacksonville. I expect them to dominate their division. They're number 7. Let's see. Yeah. Number 8 is the Bills. They dropped 5. I'm not surprised. The Jets are 9. They went up 1, and that only 1 obviously because they lost.
I bet you they would have went up at least maybe 2 or 3 if Rodgers was still there.
Yep. Well, you know what? As long as Brees Hill and oh God, why am I forgetting? Is it who is your Dalvin Cook? Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
As long as Hill and Cook are your go-to guys,
yeah,
everybody else will open up. I mean, that's why I wonder if you just need a taller quarterback that can see the pocket. So
I thought that was very good though, because when either one of them went on like a long run, you would be like, oh, it's okay, we can give him a breather because we'll bring in another Hall of Famer.
I'm married to the Australian Reds and the Colombian Whites. Okay. Start today. That I don't even know who the Australian Reds and the Colombian Whites are. Is that a soccer team?
Yeah.
I have no idea. Start today. He's going to have to tell me because I have no idea what that is. All right. So, and then, like I said, number 10, I'll do top 10. Top 10, number 10 is Baltimore, the Ravens. They dropped 3. So, obviously, the Giants, I'm curious, where are the Giants? They're probably near the bottom.
They got to be in the 20s.
28.
Wow.
They're 28th.
Yeah, down.
29 is the Bears.
Where were they before?
Where were they before? Let's see. They went down 9. They were at 19. They were 19. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
Who's 32? All the Giants fans. Listen, I tell you, every time Giants fans, they're about a Giants. I always come back and I'm like, you could be a Jets fan, but this year, oh no, that has flipped.
Yep, it's better to be a Jet than a Giant. There's no doubt. Arizona's 32, Houston 31. See, I think that's going to be reversed by the end of the year.
Yeah,
I think not that I don't have faith in CJ Stroud. I just don't think he's got the team around him. Indeed. I mean, and the loss of, they got Joshua Dobbs as their quarterback right now for Arizona. They're not a bad team, but they're just not going to win a lot of games.
Indeed.
So, all right. So, Cameron, I tried getting you in. I don't know if I didn't email you because I didn't have your email address. So, I want to talk a little bit about my confidence pool. It's a little self-promotion here. So, obviously, this past week was a rough week. If the 38 people that are in or watching, the winner for this week with 200 points was Carlos Colon. He beat the second place winner, Michael Tice, by 22 points. He had 6 losses this week. Carlos did. Good for him. I tell you that, and I think he won his pool too. Carlos actually runs his own pool at Cary where I work, and I think he might have won his pool too. So good for him that he won. Let's see. He's telling me what it is. Oh, Colin said probably a rugby team. Yeah, it probably is rugby. You're right. So, yeah, I want to just congratulate my 2 guys, Colin and Mike, for winning week 1. And then week 2 is there's a lot of good games. I've actually already done my picks. So that's done. I'll do my pick 6 sometime tomorrow, but I'll get to that later. So I did want to talk about a little college football. And are you into college football at all or no?
You talking to me about that?
Cameron, yeah, you're talking to you. Yeah, are you into college football? So, real quick.
I'm trying to think. I'm this. We all know what the biggest story right now going through college football is. See, my
you
God.
want to talk about prime, don't you?
Oh my God. Hey, I mean, when I saw the team, I was like, "Oh, what is going on here?" I was like, "Bro."
You're
And for
talking
him
about the
to
first
leave,
game?
and for him to
Or
leave
you
a
talking,
small college to jump to a power college and do
yeah.
what he's doing, because Colorado hadn't been on the map since God knows when. I think they said like
Uh,
it was like 1980s or something like that. So for
I
him to
needed you last
back
week, man.
state,
I
yeah,
talked about
go to a
I
big
talked about him last week.
and do what he's doing. Oh God, I guarantee you, not only is he running the school right now, but the
Yep.
boosters are coming
He,
to his room, giving
well,
him like dollars on dollars on dollars, because
he's
now
not running the
people are
school.
gonna start coming. Yeah, bro. Oh, and with the
He's
transfer
not running the school,
and this
but
whole
you know what
life
he's doing.
thing, yeah, it's over. It's finished.
You know what he's doing is he everything is prime now. Like you probably saw the commercials. Everything with Colorado University is about
It's
prime.
prime. Yeah, they don't even call it Dion. It's all prime now. Everything is prime.
Uh,
It's a. I won't be surprised, Charles, if later on we see him in an actual prime commercial selling the drink.
oh, Amazon Prime, yeah,
Oh
probably.
no, the prime drink.
The prime what?
Yeah, there's an energy drink out there. It's called Prime.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm
So
telling you, I won't be
now
surprised if he starts
now
promoting that.
Prime wasn't the big story. Okay, the last weekend the big story was the Longhorns on
Oh yeah,
Saturday
beat Alabama, of course.
beat Alabama down. I loved it. I actually picked it on one of my two college picks because I wanted it to happen, and I
I,
was
I
so
watched
happy.
I watched the
I,
highlights twice.
all Alabama needs to do is lose one more, and they're completely out.
They're
One
completely
more
out.
game
There's
out.
no way they'll get. And if they do, that's it. I'll be done. I'll be like, you know what, college, you can take a banana to the throat. That's it. If they get in, I'll be. That's
Yep.
it. I'll be done. I'll
Yep.
be done with it. I'm not. I won't pay attention anymore.
So yeah, and then the Pac-12. I mean, that's that's Prime's league, right? He's in the Pac-12 right now, Colorado, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
they only got a few teams
Because
up, but Colorado's the big
he's
one.
going to be going up against USC. I think either this week
Yeah,
or whatever.
UCLA.
It's
UCLA pounded.
it's a division game. So yeah,
Yep.
or a conference game.
And then the other game that was pretty big, and it's probably they might be in the top four at some point this year, is Miami. They're getting back to their old ways again of actually winning, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, I saw that
Pretty
too.
good for them.
I'm a Hurricanes fan, so I saw that.
Yep. So we got another comment. Let's see. It's probably Hook'em Horns. Who are the Horns, Colin? Or maybe do you know who the Horns are? Oh, Texas Longhorns. Okay. I'm not. I'm still figuring out college, Colin. So sometimes I don't click on to what actually certain teams are. So that's the college for now. I think we'll get into this breaking news that it's not breaking now. It was breaking more like 2 hours ago. David Stearns, 38 years old, hired as the Mets team president for baseball operations heading into the 2024 season. He's currently an advisor to the Milwaukee Brewers. This is huge. I tell you, this is absolutely huge. I think for the Mets, and I'm a Yankee fan. Cam, are you a baseball fan?
Yeah, I grew up in a household as a Yankees and Mets fan, so I'm a big fraud.
So you pick both?
I'm a big fraud. So, but if they're in the World Series, I vote. I root for the Mets only because the Yankees have enough.
I think every Met fan would agree with you on that.
But I saw him on Sports Center, yeah, and his accolades and everything. So I was like, okay, this is not bad.
Yeah, this guy's gonna. I think he's gonna turn this team around. I'm pretty interested in seeing what this guy can do. He might be the Omar Minaya that the Mets needed back in the Omar Minaya days. So who knows? Well, since you did mention Yankee, I have to say this, and it kills me. Jason Dominguez goes down with a UCL injury. Esteban Foriel returns to the Yankees to replace the Martian.
No, I didn't see that.
That killed me when I saw that, man. Oh,
that's one of the new guys who came up.
Yeah, I mean,
I
4 home runs in 5 or 6 games.
Yeah, I
I
can't.
mean,
You know what?
it,
I can't. I'm done.
he
I'm
was
done. I
Kevin
can't.
Maz, but better. You
Oh
know.
my God. It rains, it pours with this team. I was watching it like I think it was like a couple weeks ago or something
Yeah.
with my stepdad, and I said, Dad, I'm looking at the averages. No one's averaging above 300
No. No.
except for a Judge. What the
And
hell?
they're basically out of they're out I think they if they're not out now because they had a doubleheader today with Boston. If
Yeah,
they're
they
not out.
beat Boston. They're 500 at the moment. But yeah, they they're still in last place.
I think Diaz and Rogers should get a cocktail with each other. Am I forgetting who Rogers? Edwin Diaz and who's Rogers? I'm
Aaron Rodgers.
then who's Diaz? Is Edwin Diaz? Oh, Edwin Diaz and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Aaron
funny.
Rodgers.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I had to make the connection. I'm like that. He split baseball and football. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on a second. Okay, yeah. Diaz and Rogers probably should get a split a cocktail. I completely agree. Completely agree.
Geez,
You know what? And Aaron should pay. He's got the money.
oh my God! Even when he gave it all away, he still has enough.
So with the Yankees, I'm probably not going to do much more baseball because they're both teams are out. I'll probably talk more baseball as we get to the playoffs. But that it wasn't the biggest thing in the world. I mean, especially since they've been sucking it up. So next I want to talk about, and this might turn off some people because they're not fans. I don't know if you're a fan or not. I am. WWE, what happened last night at the 9/11 show? Oops, that went too far. The 9/11 show in Virginia. So interesting stuff that happened last night during Raw. So Jey Uso's back. He got hired back with Cody. Cody Rhodes brought him back. Jey Uso actually quit WWE for like a month. I don't know. That might have been planned. That might not have been planned. And now he's trying to become friendly with some of the wrestlers. So this team, the Judgment Day, with Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Dominic. Mysterio. That's right, Dominic Mysterio. He doesn't want to be a Mysterio, but he's still Dominic Mysterio. So they're trying to get him in. They're trying to get Jey Uso into their group. My take on this is really Jey want to be a part of a group when he just left the group. I mean, it just looks like he's just not saying it. He doesn't want to be part of a group. He just wants to go single. He did all that with his brother. He did all that with Roman Reigns. He's done with it. So they get into a fight with him and Kevin Owens, and then they get into a match, and then he hits Kevin Owens by accident. Oh my God! Now they're enemies again. Whatever. Miz had a match. It was stupid. They had a 6-man tag match against Imperium. It was this Alpha Academy. The Alpha Academy is not a bad group, I gotta say, and they could be more. And they brought this Tommaso Ciampa with them. He's not a bad wrestler. I tell you, some of these wrestlers, they know how to entertain, and especially with Imperium, they're boring. They've been the longest running Intercontinental Champion Gunther has, but they're boring. Which now, what was a weird match? Drew McIntyre versus Xavier Woods. It's like Xavier Woods was goading Drew McIntyre into a fight. It was just very strange. And then Cody put Dominic into a whatever this move is. So yeah, Cody went to talk about Jey, and then Dominic came out, and he was the one thing with Dominic, and I love that the WWE fans are doing is that they're getting loud when Dominic talks. Now, if you don't know who Dominic Mysterio is, he's the son of Rey Mysterio. And they had a little shtick that Rey Mysterio was, Dominic was leaving Rey, and he didn't call him. He wasn't his father anymore. It was stupid stuff. But now Dom's part of this group, and he's just getting completely obliterated verbally by these fans because they don't want to hear him talk. It's hysterical, and every fan in every arena is doing this. It's almost like it's a mandatory. They're walking in and giving you a script. Okay, you need to boo here. You need to talk here. They're all doing it. It's absolutely amazing. The Baszler versus Chelsea Green match was another boring one. Chelsea Green's not a good wrestler. I don't know why this Niven girl's with her, but Baszler is she's the real deal. Baszler will fight anybody, anywhere, anyhow, and it can be light or dark. It don't matter. I mean, she's the one that took out Ronda Rousey. So, and then a few things after Shinsuke Nakamura was being goaded to come out to wrestle for the WWE Championship by Seth Rollins. Well, all of a sudden you see Shinsuke Nakamura beating up this other guy Ricochet in the back of the area, and Shinsuke says, "I'll do it on my time." So this is getting kind of funny. He'll do it on his time thing. And then there was the women's championship at the main event was Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez, and Nia Jax interferes, and that was frustrating. Takes out both stars, but Rhea wins the match because Raquel, she just couldn't took out Raquel Rodriguez. And I'll tell you right now, Trish Stratus is my favorite all time, but Raquel Rodriguez is becoming my favorite now. Like the woman, she's got a perfect body for wrestling. She's got a perfect body for, the woman she is. She's like almost the complete woman when it comes to wrestling, and it's an amazing thing to watch. Don't know what's going on SmackDown, so I'm not going to talk about that. So I don't know what's going on there. Now, are you a wrestling fan at all, or no? Cam?
Stopped watching after The Rock left, but
all right.
Both my
you might know some of these people then.
And I know that when what's his name when Seth Rollins was saying what he was saying, he was probably saying it because he wants his wife Becky Lynch, the man, to come in and do some ish. So that probably was what was going on.
I'd love to see them wrestle together. I'd love to see that.
Oh yeah, I'd love that. I would love it. I love Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, that's my girl. I don't know what it is about her. I don't know what it is, but that's my girl. So.
So Colin left. Peace out. You really needed to break down the Giants better. Both lines sucked. I can't break down any better than they're bad. What is there to break down? They need to be replaced. But the wide receiver did next to nothing to help Danny Dimes. Only Waller looked good. And what the hell, Gano? Oh, Gano, like I mentioned that. I don't think he might have saw that. Colin must not have seen that. I did talk about the fact that Gano might have had an issue with the weather and the water because everything else was perfectly fine. So I don't know, but that's fine. Colin's only into football. He's not into wrestling. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. He can watch other stuff later if he wants. So I did want to talk about this. I saw this online that there's potential WWE Hall of Fame inductees that they're talking about especially with what's going on new with that TKO that UFC is buying WWE. And this is where I thought Colin might be interested because him and his wife Mary are big into UFC. So UFC is merging with the WWE, and they're calling it TKO. And so they're going to be the ones in charge now of these WWE Hall of Fame inductees. And the ones, the 5 or 6 that came up were Bray Wyatt, Chyna, and these are all individual ones. So Bray Wyatt just died. I'm sure you heard. Chyna. So those will be posthumous. Nasty Boys, I think they're still alive. Lillian Garcia. Now, there's only been one announcer that's got it. So the fact that these people are thinking Lillian Garcia might get it. Goldust, and then John Cena receives the Warrior Award for everything that he does outside of the WWE. I mean, the list sounds legit to me.
Oh, did you want me to say something, my man?
That's okay.
I apologize.
Little dead air. That's okay.
I was like, why is there silence? I was like, oh, he might be waiting for me to say something. So,
yeah.
I didn't really get to watch Bray Wyatt wrestle much, but
oh no, oh dude,
yeah, my brothers told me that they told me good things, so I was like, all right, good. That's all I need to hear. Listen, that's all I need to hear from them because they'll tell me. But Chyna in, Lillian Garcia in, Goldust in, like those 3, 100% in. That they had their own little thing. Even Goldust and his little charisma stuff, like all that. Yeah, even him. Like
whatever. I can't even do it. I can't do it.
Shattered Dreams and all that. Put him in because he had a good. His gimmick was actually pretty good. It was like one of those ones where it was like it wasn't too much you hate him, but it was just like bro, don't come near me. Like ill. Like
Exactly.
don't and it worked. It worked. When I went to
Yep.
when I would go to Raw or Royal Rumble and I'm in the front row and he's over there and I would say something, he'd turn, look at me, and then he just do that thing where he puts his hands on his stomach and just comes up to his chest and he would just look me right in my face like, and I'll be like, yo, bro, you know what? Yo, this guy, pay this guy, because he can easily go
All right. So
interact with people and stuff like that. Yeah, listen, China, Lillian Garcia, and Goldust. Yeah, they're my pick.
nice. So speaking of Hall of Fames, so if Yadier Molina gets considered for Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, I'm saying, and someone else said this too, we should look at Jorge Posada.
In
They have similar numbers when it comes to everything. And Jorge has better home run hit numbers, but Yadi's more hitting. So that's where it differs, but that's about it. So if he gets in, I tell you, if he starts moving up in numbers, I really think we need to look at Jorge, or they need to rethink it and maybe put him in quicker than like some senior thing. But and I'll get to this a little bit later. This is gonna take a lot of time. So and we've already at 1 hour 11 minutes. Other Halls of Fame possibilities. I'll get that into the future when it starts getting to be closer to that. So I did want to talk about this real quick. I'm going to put this up. I see someone commented. I'm going to get that.
Nod there in the comment section.
Yeah. Oh, is that you? Okay. Let's see. Let's see what it says. Let's. Did I click it? Yes, I did. Hold on. This is an interesting compliment. Chaz, you look like Tony Soprano today. Looking good. I decided to take my hat off. I'm like, what the hell? I did my hair. What I wish I had Tony Soprano money. I'll tell you right now.
You still wearing the hats?
Oh, I usually wear a hat. Yeah. I usually wear a hat.
Good job by you.
I figure, what the hell? Today I'm not going to do it. So I did this a couple weeks back, man, and now since you're not living in Monmouth County, but you might know about this because you're technically part of Central Jersey in your county. So I started a petition on change.org, and this is the petition. I got 29 signatures in the last 3 weeks. It's kind of slowed down. But if anybody lives in Monmouth County or is wondering why I put this petition up, I have a whole little thing down here that I wrote, and I'm going to keep promoting this. This, like I said, I do self-promotion on this because I feel I have to. And the two I self-promote now are my pool, my football pool, and this change.org legislation that I'm trying to change. So, like I said, if I leave it up long enough, people can see it. A minute, they could look at it. This is the HTTPS where you go to get to this page. Like I said, I'm maybe once in a great while I'll click the share on Facebook because I just don't want to inundate my Facebook friends with all this different stuff that I Charles this, and it's 10 in a row, and that's why people don't like things that I put up. I get it. But I'm also trying to someone asked me a couple of days ago, you're a digital creator. Well, since I started doing this podcast, I've kind of thought of myself as one, I'm trying to, brand myself to a point where, I can talk, I could use my words for good. So, that's what I was doing with that. So. And like I said, you anybody else can promote it too. So like if you see it and you like it, you guys can push it too. So that's that. Now to something I've been doing, but I want to start it. So I'm calling it now something different. Calling it birthday roundup. It's birthdays of my friends and family that I know. Okay. So start yesterday real quick. 9/11. I know a lot of people, or at least one in particular that's on this list, don't like to celebrate their birthday because of 9/11. But you can't help your birthday either. So the Knicks got Mike Porcelana, Peter, Dave Klein, Johnny Petraglia, and that might be a name you think you know. That's Junior, Johnny Petraglia Jr. That's the son of the Hall of Fame bowler, and Heather Henderson, friend from Monmouth Regionals days. Mike Porcelana, that's my soon-to-be brother-in-law. Who's a comment? Oh, good job by me. Thank you, Cameron. Appreciate it. So those are the birthdays for yesterday. Happy birthday to everybody. Today, 9/12, Mike Tice, the guy who got second place in my pool. Let me take this down. Hold on a second. Let's get back to that. Okay. And I want to remove that. Okay, stop sharing. So, Mike Tice, 34. Greg Cipher, also 34. Ashley Berry. Marcia Morris, I used to work with at Amazon. She's whatever age she is, probably 29 years young. Philip Bryan, my Eatontown friend from many, many years ago. And then I think it's my co-host's birthday. Yes, Cameron Jones. Happy birthday, brother. 41.
Thank you, bro.
I was kind of glad when you said you were going to be. Oh my God, I could say happy birthday to you. I'm not going to sing, I promise.
No,
So, all right, tomorrow's birthdays, real quick. Robin Robinson, bowler. Jeffrey Geller, bowler. So I got two bowlers, 56 and 57, turning having their birthdays tomorrow. Mike Farley, big Cowboy fan. I'm shocked I didn't get a text from him last night or a Facebook message. 53 years old today or tomorrow. And Chris Kohler, Eatontown fireman that is friends with my family in Eatontown. So now we'll do the 14th through the 17th. On the 14th, Amanda Corwin. I went to school with her back in St. Jerome's. She turns 47. On the 15th, Jeanette Jarman. I believe I worked with her somewhere, one of my jobs. Debbie Cloby. My Debbie. You're Debbie. You know Debbie. Cam, you remember Debbie, right?
Is that Debbie from UPS?
Yes, it is. That's Debbie Cloby. She married John Cloby, remember?
She looks like, but I definitely know the name. That's for sure.
See, I go on Facebook, but it screw up the page right now.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, go on my Facebook page. She's one of my friends.
Yeah, Debbie definitely. I know the name, and remember UPS. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm. She actually posts every Friday. They do a picture every Friday of all the girls who are in the Smalls area.
Wow.
So yeah,
she's working there.
She's still there, dude. She is still there. It's crazy. I mean, I Casey. You remember Casey, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Casey's in Ohio.
Okay. Okay. Don, he worked across from me, right?
Huh?
He worked across from me, or across from you, actually. I think, Casey.
Dude, I was in multiple places when I was at UPS.
Yeah. God.
I was next to Katie. That's the one I always remember. I started next to Katie. I'll never forget Katie too. Oh my God.
Now Katie, yeah. It's that woman.
Yeah, we all remember Katie.
Oh yeah, can't forget her. Now Debbie is her last name Paddock Cloby?
On Facebook it might be, yeah.
Okay.
On Facebook it might be.
Okay.
But because Paddock is her maiden name. So.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, she married. You remember John Cloby? You remember him?
I think so. Yeah.
He would like we were. What was our color? I think we were yellow. The yellow belt.
Green.
Oh, we were the green belt.
We might have been yellow. I think we were. I don't know. It was either yellow or green.
You were across from me at one point doing the freehold mall.
I was no, I never did. I did that one day, and that was it. There's no way else I was doing that.
That's right. You did. I know I did it, but I thought you did it. No, that's right. Phil Johnson did it.
One day I did that. No, I was down. I was down at the end with the freeholds at the end.
Oh, that freehold mall back then. Just imagine what it is now with the internet. Oh my God, we weren't doing it with the internet.
I can only imagine. But yeah, Deb was the little short blonde that was always around.
Yep. Yep. So that,
Yeah,
I mean that
Deb.
we're in 2023 and she's still there. I mean,
There, it's crazy.
I left. See, I left Tinton Falls in '09, but I would stay with UPS till 16.
Wow.
And she's still there in 23. That's just it's
Crazy.
yeah. So Debbie's birthday is the 15th.
Oh, happy birthday to her. Jeez.
When is what's the 15th? Hold on, I got to see. Is it Friday? It's Friday.
Friday.
Damn. I want to take the day off and go to the diner down there. Oh man. Oh well. It happens.
I can't believe she's still there.
That was what we used to do. We used to go to the diner down the street from the UPS, and we all used to get breakfast before we went to our other job.
The Four Seasons.
Yep, Four Seasons. That's right. All right, the last birthdays: Teresa Farmer, bowler at Strathmore. She turns 43. Alicia Gibson from I want to say Amazon. I think I knew her at Amazon. Christine Palenko, 37. I knew her from a job far ago and long away. Howie Pierce, old Eatontown Pierce. Funny, his last name is differently spelled than the street he lived on. He lived on Pierce, Pearce. So his birthday is on the 16th. And then Jay Arantino, one of the guys I knew growing up in Eatontown, also turns 53 years old on the 17th. Now, I do these two, the birthdays of other people real quick. 10 years ago, we lost Paul Walker. It would have been his 50th birthday today.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Paul Walker, 50 years old today if he was still alive. Absolutely crazy.
Fast and Furious himself.
Yeah, Fast and Furious, exactly. So a couple other greats that we lost that were their birthdays today. Jesse Owens would have been 110 years old. Barry White, he was born in 44. Cameron, you always had that deep voice. You could do it.
I don't know why.
And then Peter Scolari, you might not know who he is. He was in a TV show called Bosom Buddies with Tom Hanks. That was what I know him from, anyway.
I remember. I just never really saw the show, but I remember that.
Okay.
On a Tom Hanks biography.
So we got a couple more celebrity birthdays. You ever heard of Kelsey Ballerini?
No, but for some reason, I feel like I did, but for some reason,
she's a country girl. She just turned 30, so she's a youngin'. She's closer to your age than mine. So.
Okay.
Emmy Rossum, you know her. You might know her the day from tomorrow.
Kelsey, right, or whatever. Kelsey, she's like a
Jake Gyllenhaal and her.
Oh, she's a country singer.
The day after tomorrow. What's that?
I think Kelsey, she's like a country singer or something.
The Ballerini, yeah, she's a country singer. Yeah,
that's why I don't really know too much about her. But I did. Yeah. So I do listen to country, but I don't know too much. That's why.
Yeah. So Emmy Rossum, she was in The Day After Tomorrow.
Yes, she was.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Way back in '04, so 20 years ago. She was 17.
Very good actress.
And then, now this next one, I'm sure you love her more than probably I do. Jennifer Hudson.
Oh, Jennifer Hudson is outstanding. We already know.
Huh?
I said Jennifer Hudson is outstanding. We already know. She's about to have new movies coming out and everything.
She is, absolutely. She's 42. So she's you're how old? 41, right?
I'm 41 now.
Yeah, there you go. That's not a bad age.
Yeah, man. She's I mean, I'd love the 30s back, but we good.
Yeah, I would love to have 30 back. So 2 Chainz, 46 years old today. He's my age at the moment. Go figure, because he doesn't look that old.
Right.
Yao Ming.
My boy.
43 years old. Yao Ming.
Man. Fucking king of China.
Yep. Now this guy, if you know baseball, Freddie Freeman.
Bring him to the Mets.
He should have been a Met. Been a Met. He's 34.
Wow.
Louis C.K. If you know his humor. It's a little dark, but I think he's funny.
Dave talked about him a lot when I went to his show.
56. He's 56.
Yeah.
Now, we talked about this guy.
Just talked about him.
Andrew Luck is 34.
God, bro. 34.
So he could play. He could play.
God.
And then the last one, you might know him. I looked at his
boy,
face and I knew it.
Boy.
Benjamin McKenzie from Gotham.
Yeah,
He's
man.
45. The guy who played who becomes the chief?
He played what's his name?
He played a main character. I'm trying to think of the chief.
Yeah, he played
but he was only an officer.
Commissioner Gordon.
That's it. He played Patrolman Gordon in the beginning.
Yeah, he played Detective Gordon.
So movies and shows that came out today. Party of Five in 1994.
Wow.
1994, the year I graduated. Party of Five. High school. Let me see. Graduated high school, 1994.
Old head.
Yeah, I'm an old man. There's no doubt. Now I'm not this old, but my father, Bonanza, 1959. So I copied down what this is. So I don't think I've watched too much of it. An all-male ranching family in Nevada lives on 1,000-acre spread during and after the Civil War. The show ran for 14 seasons and aired a total of 431 episodes.
Wow.
I got to start watching that. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
And it starred some people you might know and people you don't know. Michael Landon, we all know, Highway to Heaven. That's how we know Michael, and Little House on the Prairie. Lorne Green, I think he was in something else after this, but he was a major player back in those days.
Yeah.
Dan Blocker, I think, was only known for Bonanza. I don't know if he did much else. Same with Pernell Roberts. Now, the last one from this show that I know, I'm not sure you know, because you'd have to watch soap operas in the 80s and 90s.
David Canary.
Dude, you're good.
Mr.
Dude,
All My Children.
bravo.
Mr. All My Children, brother.
So you probably know he was a twin, right?
What happened?
He was a twin.
Yeah, bro. I didn't know until like they brought both of them in at one point, and you could tell that like it wasn't
Adam
a twin. And I was like, "Oh, what's going on here, bro? How does soap operas have like that real good of a digital stuff? That's crazy. Yeah. Look, you can barely tell.
Go figure. Back then they could do it, and now they can do it better. So
yeah, bro.
But yeah, David Canary, we lost him 10 years ago. I think it was 2013 when he died. So
yeah, he died. I'm pretty sure he died in 2015 because if I'm not mistaken, his brother died in 2008.
Well, it's good to know that I can talk to you about soap operas because we're probably going to kill our demographic.
When I was younger, and when something happened, I was like, "Wait a minute, Mom, why are you doing that? They can't do that." And then find out like. Wait a minute. We're not going to find out what happened today. What happened? No, it needs to end today. And she's like, it doesn't work like that, Cam. And it just had me for like years on years.
Yeah.
And, All My Children was first, and then she got me into One Life to Live, and then that was it.
No General Hospital. Shocking.
No General Hospital. Thank God. Or else I'd have been screwed. Sunny and all that stuff. No, I'd have been finished, bro.
I only started watching that again a little bit because Stephen A. Smith goes on it every once in a while.
Yeah, he does. Yes, that's right.
Anyway, the last two is the Smurfs. Go figure. 1981. This day, 1981. And then one of the best TV shows probably ever, Taxi, 1978. Started this day. I mean, that's an all-star cast. I mean, Tony Danza, Danny DeVito, Christopher Lloyd. Forgetting people. The father on Big Bang Theory. Jesus. He was also in Independence Day. Oh, Hirsch. Judd Hirsch.
Yeah.
Yeah, duh. I'm like, he, the Jewish guy. Two more comments. Oh, okay. We got two more comments here. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Oh, that's you. Well, one is not. One is you. One is not. Chaz, do you remember California raisins? Oh, absolutely. I never ate them.
We all know.
I know the song too.
Yep.
Heard it through the grapevine. Sorry.
I also know.
Wow. I might have to put that on as me singing on camera for the first time ever.
I sang the Christmas song when I was 9 or 10.
Oh shit.
Yeah, matter of fact, I think it was just past was like past summer. They were showing us these because we were able to convert a lot of the videotapes into like CD or digital or whatever, and we were
Uh-huh.
watching them. And then there's me and my brother singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, California Raisin style.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, yeah! If you saw it, yeah, you'd be laughing your ass off. We were doing the dance and everything.
All right. So Saturday I will do my pick show. I just don't know when. It's to be determined. As I'm going to be at Christian Brothers Academy.
Like, yeah, you went to CBA. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
I went to CBA. I graduated in '94.
Ah,
They're having a dedication ceremony for the dining hall, and they're naming after one of the former principals, not the one I had, someone after me. And then Dolly, dude, like you went to Monmouth Regional. Dolly was our kitchen lady, and she was small. She was no more than 5'2", but she didn't take no shit. She didn't.
yep,
I mean,
I remember.
it was her way or the highway.
That's right.
And then you probably had three brothers in the room, so you really knew not to do anything stupid.
Yep.
So, but yeah, so it's going to be brother Frank Burns Dining Hall and Dolly's Kitchen that they're dedicating on Saturday morning.
Nice.
And I get to bring my kids for the first time to actually see what my high school was, or is.
Yeah. And when they get there, they're going to be like, "Where is it?"
Oh yeah, well I tell you right now, what I brought them there years ago when they were babies. I was pushing them around. Now they're going to see what a high school looks like. And obviously, unfortunately, they live in Pennsylvania, so they'll never go here. Plus, I couldn't afford that right now unless they were to get scholarships. It's $19,000 a year to go there.
What at
CBA.
Brothers?
Yep.
That's ridiculous. It's probably the same old ish that looks like over. I remember when we went there, I was like, "Well, where's the basketball court? Oh, it's over there. What do you mean over there? That's a shed."
Let me tell you, man.
That's their basketball court. I was like, "Where are we? Indiana?"
There's two basketball courts now.
Oh my God, help us! I'll never forget when I went in there. I was like, "Yo, this." I mean, yeah, I feel like I'm gonna see Larry Bird in French Lick.
So that's where I'll be on Saturday, at least in the morning. So at some point I'll do my picks for this week's upcoming games. I should do my pick for. I didn't even think about it for the Philly game. Shit. Oops. I cursed. Oops. So Philly's playing Minnesota in Philly. I'm not going to put it here. I'm just going to say it. I think Philly's going to dominate Minnesota.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it's 28-14. I mean, I don't have confidence in Minnesota after what they did. The Philly fans between Beth and Ahmad that I know, they're going to love this pick. And I think Ahmad was saying this to me today that he doesn't think they're going to, the Minnesota's going to do anything. And he might be right. If they take out Justin Jefferson, it's done. I mean, so I could be wrong. I was wrong last week because I picked KC. Now, granted, I didn't know Kelsey was out. I did that pick without knowing Kelsey was out. So, I'm going to say it's going to be 28-14 Eagles win. They go 2-0. What do you think? Same thing?
Yep. And I'm actually hoping that he's not, because that means I'll be able to trying to think here. That means I'll be able to activate K Osborne if what's his name's not playing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. Well, Cameron, it was wonderful to have you, man. I appreciate you coming, especially on your birthday. Again, happy birthday. I should have more birthday boys on the show when it's their birthday. This could be fun.
I mean, you set the invite. I just answer the call. You know what I mean? I got a call to duty.
I appreciate it, man. I do appreciate it, and you're welcome back anytime. You absolutely are. And like I've said before, and I'll say it again, if you like what you see, you like what you hear, click the subscribe button and on the bottom right-hand corner and become a subscriber. Trust me, I could use all the subscribers I can get. All right. That's the show. Peace out. Cameron, it's been a pleasure. I'll talk to you soon.
Always, sir. You have a good one.
You too.